new differentiator is the user experience. Communication and clarity of thought are now the most valuable skills you can possess.
Hello, friends. Welcome to the show. Today's guest is Chandra, AI Solutions Manager at ZMI Holdings, part of ADNOC L&S. Chandra has more than 11 years of experience in artificial intelligence, from machine learning to generative artificial intelligence. He has built over 8 generative AI systems and designed 68 plus AI solutions using 6 different LLMs. Chandra is an expert in artificial intelligence deployment, ML ops, and ethical AI governance. He works with major cloud platforms like AWS, Azure, and GCP. Outside of work, Chandra is a UAE Global AI Delegate and a Gartner AI Research Circle member. He is also a Google Trusted Tester and part of the NVIDIA AI developer community. Chandra shares knowledge through live webinars on topics like peer vibe coding and Anthropic's MCP. Let's explore how coding is evolving and why vibing might be the next big thing. Welcome, Chandra, to my show.
Thanks a lot, Dilshit, for giving me this opportunity to speak to the wider audience, and it's always a pleasure to advocate AI.
Okay. My first question to you on this topic is coding has come a long way, we all know, and from punch cards to Python to plain English prompts. Do you think natural language is the final step in this evolution or just another phase?
Yeah, so that's a profound question. I believe natural language isn't the final step, but it represents the final abstraction of human intent. So, for decades, the entire history of software development has been a journey to close the gap between what we want a machine to do and the arcane instructions we have to give it. So now we went from flipping switches to assembly to compiled languages. So each step removing a layer of mechanical translation. So now natural language is the first time we are crossing the threshold where the primary skill is no longer translating our thoughts into a rigid syntax, but simply having a clear thought in the first place. So the next phase won't be a new language. It will be about the AI's increasing ability to understand more ambiguous, more complex, and more creative intent. So the final step isn't language, it's a seamless, instantaneous translation from idea to reality. And natural language is the bridge to get us there.
Oh, that's great. So why do we all now talk about this vibe coding? What changed in our tools or mindset that made this idea necessary?
So the vibe coding is the most important one at this moment. So vibe coding emerged because the definition of a successful product fundamentally changed. For a long time, software just had to be functional. It had to work. But in today's market, functionality is table stakes. The new differentiator is the user experience. So the vibe, is it intuitive? Is it beautiful? Is it delightful to use? So this aesthetic and experiential quality is no longer a nice to have. It is a core feature that drives adoption and retention. So our tools were lagging behind this reality before. Now they were built for logical step-by-step programming. So now vibe coding became necessary because we needed a way to iterate on the feeling of a product as quickly as we could iterate on its logic. So generative tools provided the first real mechanism to do that. So allowing us to make it look more professional or give it a playful feel and see result instantly. And the vibe is simply the market pulling development closer to the human experience.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you. And you coined the term this pair vibe coding. And what does it mean and
Yeah.
how is it different from traditional teamwork in design, product, and engineering?
Yeah, so from vibe coding, so I see we are going to get into the pair vibe coding. So what is pair vibe coding? So pair vibe coding transforms the development process from a linear relay race into a real-time collaborative sculpting session. So traditionally, a product manager write a spec and hands the baton to a designer and who creates a mock-up and hands it to an engineer who then builds it.
Hmm.
It's slow, siloed, and full of misinterpretation because there is no proper connection between each other. So now I coined a term called pair vibe coding. It puts all three roles in the same room, look at the same canvas, the live generating UI. The vibe comes from the designer articulating the aesthetic vision. So the pairing comes from the engineer and the product manager working with the designer to translate that vision into a functional reality live. Instead of tickets and hands off, you have a shared conversation. It is the difference between building for each other and truly building with each other. So collapsing the feedback loop from weeks into seconds. And we are already doing a pair vibe coding live webinars. I would request our viewers to watch it and learn because that is the future.
Yeah, I know that. Excellent. With tools like v0.dev, there's no more handoff between roles. What does this new way of building together actually look like?
So it looks like the meeting room or the Zoom call that we are having at this moment.
Oh, I understand that.
So becoming the new IDE. So our Zoom call will become a new IDE soon. So instead of presenting a static Figma link on a slide deck and saying, what do you think? The screen now shows a live V0 instance. The
Mhm.
product manager says, our users need a way to filter this idea. The designer says, okay, but let's make the filter controls clean and unobtrusive. So maybe a drop down instead of radio buttons. So this is how the discussion will be in future. And the engineer, instead of saying, okay, I will add a ticket and get to the next sprint, simply types a prompt, add a drop down filter for status above the data table. And everyone sees the result instantly. The conversation is no longer theoretical, it is applied. It is a shift from let me get back to you to let's try that right now. So, turning every decision making meeting into a productive building session.
Okay, Chanda, thank you. And talking about the skills, if artificial intelligence is writing the boring code, what skills will really matter for developers and designers going forward?
I got it. I know that's where we come up. So, the value chain actually moves up.
Hmm.
The new premium skills are not about role execution, but about strategic direction,
Wow.
curation, and
Hmm.
taste. So, for developers, the most valuable skill shifts from writing flawless boilerplate CSS to architecting robust systems and crafting the perfect, elegant prompt that guides the AI to the desired outcome. It's about becoming a true technical architect.
Hmm.
So, now for designers, the value of a strong, clear vision becomes amplified 1,000 times. So, your ability to articulate a vibe to describe not just what a component should do, but how it should feel is now a direct input into the creation process. So, in both roles, communication and clarity of thought are now the most valuable skills you can possess.
Oh, thank you. Chandra, what about the critics? Some say this new way of coding makes people too dependent on artificial intelligence. How do you respond to that?
So I say that when you have a tool, you should know how to use the tools in a best way possible so that you can focus on other things. So of course, it's a valid concern,
Hmm.
and one we see with every major technological leap. So the same was said about compilers replacing assembly or calculators dulling mathematical skill. So the
Exactly.
reality is this new paradigm doesn't eliminate the need for understanding, it
Mm,
redefines what you need to understand. So
mm,
you might not need to memorize the exact CSS syntax for a flexbox layout, but
mm,
you absolutely need to understand layout principles, accessibility, and performance trade-offs to guide the AI effectively. So in fact, I would argue it requires a deeper understanding of the fundamentals. So it frees
mm,
developers from the cognitive load
mm,
of syntax to focus on high level architectural and user problems. So it's not about losing control,
mm,
it is about gaining leverage. You
mm.
are the architect, not the bricklayer.
Oh, thank you. Going faster is great, but what other big benefits have you seen from teams using pair vibe coding?
Okay, so speed is the immediate benefit that we can see, but
Mhm,
it's just the gateway. So the most profound impact is on creative courage. So in the traditional model, the cost of trying a new idea is immense.
mm,
A designer might have a wild idea for new layout, but the engineering effort to prototype it is week long.
mm,
So the idea gets shelved and the risk is too high. So
mm,
with the new workflow, with the pair vibe coding, the cost of experimentation drops to near zero. You can try 10 different layouts in a single meeting within 1 hour.
mm,
The penalty for being wrong is gone, because this fosters a
mm.
culture where teams are no longer afraid to explore unconventional solutions. So you get more innovative products because you can afford to have more bad ideas along the way, and the cultural shift is far more valuable than the speed alone with the pair vibe coding.
Oh, interesting. In 5 years, could someone without coding skills build full app just by talking to AI? How close are we? Can you put some light on this?
So here you mean a full app means a full stack web app
Yeah, yes.
with the front and back and all together.
Mhm,
Yes. So absolutely, the question isn't if, but when. So, and I believe we are much closer than most people realize. The trajectory is clear. Right now, we are seeing AI master the front end UI. The next step, which is already happening with tools like v0.dev's full stack starter, is
mhm,
the AI ability to understand architectural intent, provisioning databases, setting up authentication, and deploying to the cloud. So,
mm,
when the AI can reliably handle that entire stack based on a series of conversational requirements, the product manager as architect becomes a reality. So, this will unleash a Cambrian explosion of a niche, purpose built software created by visionaries who are experts in a problem domain, not necessarily in writing code. So, the very definition of a tech company will change in few
mm.
years. Just wait and watch.
Oh, great. And what's one simple thing a team can try tomorrow by begin adopting the pair vibe coding way?
So the first step isn't to change your organization chat or buy a new suite of tools.
Mm,
It's to change the format of a single meeting. So
mm,
take one weekly design review or sprint planning session. Instead of putting a static Figma link on the screen, put a live v0.dev instance or Google Stitch,
mm,
or you can use a Firebase Studio from the Google, or
mm,
you can use Lovable,
mm,
Riplet. So these are various types of agents you can just put on the screen and bring the designer and the product manager and an engineer, all three into the same room. Pick one small single component that's being discussed
mm,
and try to build or modify it together live using
mm,
prompts. Don't try to build the whole app, just one component. The team will immediately feel the magic of the feedback loop shrinking from weeks to seconds, and that visceral experience is more powerful than any memo or presentation. And the workflow will sell itself.
Yeah, very interesting, very interesting. And you have been teaching this in your webinar series, Chandra. And what's the one
Exactly.
message you want people to walk away with this podcast?
So, the single most important message is this: the future of building is not a spectator sport. The old way of working allowed us to stay in our silos and wait for our turn. So, this new paradigm demands active collaboration, a shared vocabulary, and a unified vision from the very beginning. So, my webinar series is designed to be an interactive masterclass that doesn't just show you what is possible, but gives you the mental models and the workflows to start doing it yourself. So it's about empowering every single member of the team, product, design, and engineering to see themselves as a builder. So we want to give people not just the tools, but the confidence to build the speed of their imagination. And that's what the entire series is about.
Oh, great. Thank you, Chandra, for sharing your insights and experience. It's clear that pair vibe coding is not just a trend, it's a glimpse into the future of how we build with artificial intelligence. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more conversations at the intersection of artificial intelligence, design, and code. Until next time, keep building, keep vibing. Thank you, Chandra.
Thanks a lot. Happy vibe coding.